You know, adoption is just such a beautiful thing. We see in our Christian identity our adoption by the Lord as sons and daughters. And so we know that adoption is in the heart of the Lord.
I think anything you do to improve the lives of babies is something that will bring great joy to your life.
Your religion is taking care of those that can't take care of themselves and serving others without any expectation that you'll be repaid other than just a wonderful feeling in your heart and your reward in heaven.
It's so beautiful to see that happen, to see the Lord really create families that are ordained by Him. I mean, there's no other way to think about it except that the Lord has His hand in the creation of these families.
Well, the process for me and Laura is actually we've been married 10 years when we got little Karis. And we tried for about 5 years to have a baby naturally. And the good Lord didn't have in our plans to do that, but He had plans for us in a different way.
We were devastated when we found out we couldn't have children, and so we decided to go ahead and try adoption. Brian's brother has adopted children, knew other people who had adopted children, so we thought that would be a better route for us to go.
For us, we always knew that we wanted to make this happen in our life, so it wasn't a major adjustment at all. Like we said, you know, our adjustment was the fact that, you know, we met birth mom on a Wednesday and there he was in our life on Friday.
When I first found out I was pregnant, I was about a month along, and I got to the doctor and took an ultrasound, and my first thoughts were probably, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who I could tell. I was scared and terrified and nervous and wondering how I was going to raise a kid and how my family and friends would react.
Funny thing is, I'm adopted myself, so I know the good things about the gift of being adopted and how it can really benefit you. So we started looking into it, and we found Oklahoma Christian Services, and it's been a blessing ever since.
We had heard that there was something about this particular adoption that we probably should pursue. So we made some phone calls, and that's when we found out that this particular birth mother was expecting twins. Well, that excited us and made us even more interested. So
excited her more than me.
We were interested in working with an agency that was going to care about birth mom from the beginning and all the way through the birth of our child. We wanted to make sure that she was being cared about and that her feelings were being considered, and that was a great plus for us in choosing Christian Services, because they, to this day, he's 18 months now, and they still check in with her and are concerned about her well-being, and that's important to us to know that she's doing well with the process, just like it was an adjustment period for us.
I finally told one of my close friends, and she encouraged me to tell my father, and that was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do, but he was very supportive and very loving and just embraced me and encouraged me in whatever decision I would make at that time.
I was going to say 17 years later, when they have adopted their own personality, it's quite different from when they're babies and when they're younger, and you try to mold them and shape them the way they go, but yet they've got this inbred genetic personality in them. And so I've always have said that God gave them to us for a reason, and I think sometimes it's for us to learn even more patience than I think we were already two patient people.
Yeah, we made the mistake of praying for patience, and so God gave us two girls at the same time.
I was raised in the greatest of homes, and I think my parents feel like it was an honor to get me. And the same way I feel like it was an honor that I get to raise Karis. And I feel appreciated, and I feel so glad I was able to pass that same gift on.
For us, it's been a major blessing to know that we have been blessed in many ways, you know, where we feel God has blessed us in so many ways, and here we are able to share not only our love that we have for each other, but also the blessings that come along with, you know, the things that we've been gifted with our son.
I think some of the unexpected blessings are the relationships that we have with others in our situation, and the ability that we have to share our story and bless others. That has been incredible. Being able to talk to those who may be waiting and give them hope, the ability to be able to visit with those who are in the same type of situation, but they're not there yet, and to be able to let them know that, yeah, there is a happy ending.
I found out about the adoption agency through research, and I researched every place that I could. And one of my friend's mothers actually couldn't conceive before her and had thought about going to Christian services. And she told me about that it was a really good place to go and really sweet people. And so I looked into it, and I met with my counselor, Tracy. And just meeting her initially, you just felt like she was so warm-hearted and really cared, and just wanted to be there for you no matter what decision that you made.
Christian Services is extended family to us. The most precious thing that we've ever had together, our relationship and our son, and that bond that we have together, they helped piece that together. And we just feel so abundantly blessed for them and for the role that they've played in helping us create our family.
Well, I have always been interested in being a foster parent. I love babies and children, and am known as a baby hog early.
It seems obvious, I guess, but the best thing about being foster parents is really just the time that you get to spend with the kids and the interaction you have with them, the fun times, and there are certainly some frustrations, but every moment that you get to spend with the foster children makes all the hassles worth it.
I have been blessed more than I could have even ever imagined. I just thought, oh, I'm going to get this baby. You know, it's going to be fun. But as they grow and start to recognize you and see your face, and they start to smile, and your heart just swells.
It's just a way that we were able to give back, and it's a time in our life that we could be able to do this, and so it's been a real blessing.
It's intimidating to think about fostering sometimes when you think about all the big state agencies and things like that, and that's one of the things that makes private agencies like Christian Services of Oklahoma such a benefit, because you have a smaller staff that really can focus on you, and you're not so scared to kind of jump in the big water of a state agency. But that's why Christian Services is good, to kind of help you navigate through that so that you really can focus your time on the child and the child's family rather than on all the things that might scare you off from it.
So we know the need is there, and we believe that the church will rise up and will meet this need if they understand the need, and if they understand what step they can take.
There's always lots that can be done at our maternity home. We have lots of things that we would love to do to encourage our foster families, make life easier for them. I mean, something as basic as picking up the phone and calling a babysitter isn't something that our foster families can do unless that babysitter has been certified to take care of that foster child. And so that would be a fantastic way to assist our foster families.
You know, if we don't step up and say, okay, the Lord has called us into this ministry, we're leaving that for an unknown. We don't know who's going to step in to take care of these children if we don't do it. So I believe that we'll make a difference for these children.